Okay, so we got some news to get to after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young, not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. So it's college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, we got to talk about Oklahoma flying in all 3 suspended players with the team on today. That would be Monday, the day of this upload. And the status of one Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, let's start with the OU football news, which is that Lincoln Riley sat down and what a jacket that was, and answered questions at his news conference upon landing in Atlanta. They flew today, they landed today, there's no practice today. Now, he did say all of the guys in question, for which he refused to say their names, Rhamondre Stevenson, Ronnie Perkins, and Trejan Bridges, will not play in the Peach Bowl on Saturday. You'll know that game begins at 3 o'clock Central Time. Now, there is word, and I've gotten a couple of text messages about this too, that both Ronnie Perkins and Rhamondre Stevenson have appealed their suspensions, and they might have won them. Don't know that definitively, but we got some more news about it over at OUinsider.com. My man Brandon Drum, always half step ahead of me on this stuff. Like, looking at him, be like, oh yeah, it's already on the board. So go check it out there for more details there. But suffice it to say, that would be some good news for Oklahoma, as Ronnie Perkins is the best pass rusher on this defense. And of course, Rhamondre Stevenson is not just the second best tailback, but the only other tailback not named Kennedy Brooks, which is another way of saying Jeremiah Hall could be getting lots more carries than, well, we would like to see him get, because Marcus Majors ain't ready to go after his shoulder injury. And we don't know about TJ Pledger. That'll be interesting to see, right? Because TJ Pledger also had the thumb thing, for which is healed up, but availability for the players is on Thursday, so we're going to have some moving and shaking going on there. But also does not help you with Delarian Turner-Yell, for which he is not just your strong safety, but your starting strong safety and second lead tackler on the team with 75 tackles behind one, Kenneth Murray Jr., who needs 5 to get to 100 this season. Now, on the other side of the ball, Ed Orgeron had his news conference at noon Central Standard Time, and he said, look, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is off of crutches and off of the scooter. Now, first of all, I knew he had a hamstring injury, and I had said before, if it's the kind of hamstring injury that had you on crutches, it ain't no 1-week injury. It's a 6 to 8 week injury. And if he was on the scooter, that means he popped something crucial. Now, that said, Ed Orgeron said that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is actually further along than he thought he might be, and he stands a chance of playing. Find out tomorrow. He's day-to-day as it is. Now, I don't think that dude gonna play, because if you blew out your hamstring in that way, you have a hard time just walking on it, letting on exploding off of it. And last time I checked, exploding off of your hamstring is a big deal when it comes to being a running back. Now, I know that LSU fans think that Chris Curry is the first dude up off the bench to get these carries, and that may be well so, but Ty Davis-Price is the dude with the most touches of any other running back not named Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, there's also John Emery in there, and he was a highly touted back coming out last year, and this is the dude for which, a lot of other people wanted the services of, and y'all forgot that he had the joke about getting the bag, man. Y'all remember that joke? I remember that joke. A lot of people didn't think it was a joke. I think it's a joke, but I just thought it would be interesting to bring up because you might have put in John Emery Jr. and seen that there. Now, which is more of a dent? Obviously, not having Rhamondre Stevenson, Ronnie Perkins, and of course losing Delarian Turner-Yell to injury is a worse blow for Oklahoma, but it also kind of just rolls out what we all know, which is you got to get a pass rush on Joe Burrow. You got to get a pass rush against this Joe Moore award-winning offensive line, and ain't nobody been able to do that just yet. I mean, Auburn got close, but even as they held LSU to like 23 points, they still put up like 500 yards, all right? So ain't nobody been able to get home. Neville Gallimore, this is the game for which you can vault into the first round. If Neville Gallimore eats on this day, on Saturday, it's a wrap, because ain't nobody else been able to eat. And I know the LSU fans looking at this upload just, you think that this dude from Canada is going to get some pressure. Hey, man, look, LaRon Stokes, Jalen Redmond, they've been underrated all year. They were able to get after people at Baylor. They're able to get after people at Texas, and people really want to go and throw some stuff at this Texas game, for which Sam Ehlinger threw for over 400 yards, and they put up over 500 yards of offense, and people were going after Derek Stingley Jr. and yada, yada, yada. I get it. People want to pick on Derek Stingley Jr. because I love the dude, right? That's why they want to pick on him. They'd be like, nah, man, that's a freshman. People go at him and they win. Yeah, okay. Your corner versus a wide receiver. A wide receiver is supposed to win that matchup 7 out of 10. And if a cornerback wins that matchup 5 out of 10, he's an All-American. All right? And if you look at the way that Derek Stingley Jr. has been playing, you look at how people have been testing him just because he's a freshman, they lose that game just as much as they win it. So, fine, whatever. That said, be interested to see what Lincoln Riley cooks up, how he lines up CeeDee Lamb, where he takes advantage of these things, where he tries to create leverage. On the other side, Dave Aranda's cats need to understand that Oklahoma is very good on the edges. They're very good at getting their own lanes, and Lincoln Riley's very good at making your defense look like a math problem for which you just don't have enough dudes in this particular vicinity to cover up what's coming that way. On the other side, can Alex Grinch cook up something mean and something nasty for this LSU offense that, frankly, ain't nobody been able to stop? All right, now I get people are going, hey, yo, the Barners beat the Gumps 48-45, and then, LSU only beat the Gumps, the Bayou Bengals only beat the Gumps, by 5. Now, that logic only checks out if you think that Auburn's one of the best teams in the country, and I don't. So there's that, right? Also only checks out if you want to throw out the Tua Tagovailoa, didn't play against Auburn. And if he had played against Auburn, he done throw two, and, Mac Jones done throw 2 pick sixes. Maybe we're talking about Alabama in this spot where Oklahoma is and not LSU. Ever thought about that? So as we continue to think about what this means going forward, I'm going to be interested to see how this figures out for Oklahoma because, again, even if Ronnie Perkins and Rhamondre Stevenson can go, and that's a really, really big if, especially after Lincoln Riley just came out and said they ain't going. All right? He said they're not going. He said they're not playing. And yet we're getting like, hey, they might have won their appeals. We'll see. Cool. A lot of time between now and Saturday. You can live in that hope and dream win if you want to. Fact of the matter is, Auburn had everybody they wanted playing against LSU, couldn't do nothing. Alabama had everybody that they could have had at the start of the season, couldn't do nothing. All right? Georgia had everybody they wanted, was one of the best defenses in all of college football, couldn't do nothing. If the game is going to be won by Oklahoma, it's going to be a 40-42 game. It's going to be 48-45. You're going to have to run it up. You're going to have to put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands. You're going to have Jalen Hurts beat out Joe Burrow. And ain't no other quarterback been able to outduel Joe Burrow this year. And you could say, hey, he's due for a bad game. Yeah, but maybe that bad game is again the national championship. Maybe it just ain't in the Peach Bowl, for which 73% of the stand is supposed to be full of LSU fans, because that's how people are turning up for this game. So live there if you want to. I'm just laying out for you. It's not, you're being willfully stupid if you don't really think that LSU has an edge here. You can hope. Hope is a great thing. Hope floats. I saw the movie with Sandra Bullock and Terry Connick Jr. and if that works for you, right? Cool. But if Oklahoma's within a score in the fourth quarter, that's all you can hope for. That's all you can win for. And I understand going into this thing, knowing, hey, backs against the wall, what are we going to do? I like those odds. That's where I live. I'm here. I'm not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. I'm not even supposed to exist. Matter of fact, my former bosses kind of hate that this even grew up into a thing. So that is to say, there is a part of me that is wildly in on Oklahoma being an underdog because I know the talent that's on that team, and I know how much some of these guys are going to get opportunity to show out. I yearn for this opportunity to show out, and I trust them to show up battle ready and ready to go after people and kick people like you Sparta at this thing called the Peach Bowl. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.